behalf of the board, I welcome all members of the audience to this afternoon's meeting. This meeting is a working session of the board to conduct the business of the district. The agenda for today's meeting has been published, and the agenda items to be discussed and/or voted on have been studied by the board members. I'd like to introduce the people here on the dais with me. To my far left, Recording Secretary Cindy Benson, Superintendent Larry Francois, board members Kimberly D'Angelo, David Kogan, Sandy Hayes, and Gary Smith. I'm Amy Cast, and I currently serve as president of the board. Agendas for this meeting, as well as minutes from our previous meeting, are available at the table on the table at the back. If you're here to address the board on agenda items, please sign in on the clipboard that's on the table with the agendas. You will have an opportunity near the beginning of the meeting for your comments. First order of business is the superintendent's report.
Good afternoon, welcome everyone. I want to begin tonight by congratulating the Bothell High School girls basketball team for a great season and a 5th place finish in the 4A state basketball tournament last weekend. Great season for them. The end of the scheduled 2016 legislative session is rapidly approaching on March 10th, which is 2 days away. And there's still much business left to conduct. The House and the Senate supplemental budget proposals remain nearly $500 million apart and reflect very different priorities and funding mechanisms. An alternative funding source for charter schools remains an unaddressed issue, and we are obviously still hoping for action on the levy cliff this session. So it's unclear at this point how or if these various issues will be traded off over the next couple of days to enable the legislature to adjourn on time. On February 25th, I attended the Greater Buffalo Chamber of Commerce monthly breakfast meeting for an interesting presentation on the importance of your organization's brand. And on the 26th, I attended the joint career day at Leota and Timbercrest Junior High, and I know President Cass was there as well. So special thanks to the North Shore Schools Foundation, Damon Schuneman, and our Career College Readiness programs, the Leota and Timbercrest administrators, counselors, and staff, and literally dozens of parent and community volunteers for making this event possible. I saw 7th graders developing some excellent leadership skills and 8th and 9th graders learning about a wide range of career options. On February 27th, I attended the Woodinville Rotary Wrap auction and sat at the North Shore Schools Foundation table. The auction raised over $175,000, much of which will be used to support student scholarships awarded by the Rotary and their community partners. And I personally am looking forward to enjoying the beautiful handmade Adirondack chairs that we purchased. So, February 29th, attended the joint meeting with the Kenmore City Council with the entire NSD Board. Was able to make it that night. Appreciated the opportunity to meet with the council and provide respective updates to each other on our major initiatives and happenings within the district and the city, and really continue to appreciate and value the partnership and goodwill between the city of Kenmore and the school district. May 1, attended the school improvement visit at Secondary Academy for Success with many board members. Special thanks to Donna Tayo, principal of our alternative programs, and her staff for a very informative and welcoming visit. On March 2nd, last Wednesday, attended the first of our transition open houses at Inglemore High School with Director Hayes. I think we had about 1-to-1 coverage between staff and attendees. We had about 35 parents, community members, and students in attendance. We're hoping to see increased interest at the upcoming open houses, including tomorrow night at Bothell High School from 6 to 8 p.m. Last Thursday, March 3rd, our full administrative team continued our equity and diversity training with Dr. Caprice Hollins. It was another powerful learning session focused on inclusion and exclusion and the known and unknown rules that often influence our behavior and reactions based on how we present outwardly. We're looking forward to having Dr. Hollins back in early April with our instructional leaders. On Friday, May 4th, I greeted our Cohort 1 of our North Shore Leadership Program, and this is the pioneer group for this program. They are continuing to focus on applying the skills, strategies, and insights they've gained over the past 3 years as they respond to and manage an ever-growing number of significant changes impacting their school communities and departments. May 4th, later in the day, attended a retreat for the board of the Washington Alliance for Better Schools. Our board was recently expanded to include not just the respective school district superintendents, but higher ed and industry representatives. So we began the process of reviewing our strategic direction that has guided our work for the past 5 years as we've narrowed our focus primarily around STEM, professional development, and family engagement. So the outcome of our retreat was a realization that with a new board we needed to take a step back and assess other opportunities and needs, and committed to a full-day planning session later this year. And finally, I want to take this opportunity to thank the board for your support of my pursuit of the Northwest Education Service District Superintendent position. There's never an ideal time for a transition such as this, and it will definitely be difficult to leave the North Shore School District at the end of June when we are so close to so many wonderful changes that will positively impact the district for years and decades to come. And I want to acknowledge and thank the many staff, parents, and community members who have reached out to offer me congratulations and well wishes on this new opportunity and challenge. Thank you.
Superintendent Francois. Next on the agenda are programs and special presentations. Superintendent Francois will recognize the contributions of educators who have retired from active teaching, administration, or a specialized field of the teaching profession in honor of School Retirees Appreciation Week, which is March 14th through 20th this year.
Yeah, so we know and we see every day around our schools the impact of our retirees, whether they are coming back as substitutes or whether they are coming back in volunteer capacities, or whether we tap them on the shoulder mid-year because someone's got out on a leave and we need them to come back into the classroom. And time again, our retirees and retirees across the state come forward and continue to serve and give. So I'd just like to take a moment to recognize them and read the Governor's proclamation. Whereas the Washington State School Retirees Association recognizes all retired school employees, and whereas the association educates and assists retirees in meeting the special challenges retirement brings to work to improve their general welfare, and whereas the association aids in advancing education by supporting high educational standards, and whereas the association promotes group and individual involvement in charitable projects and activities, sponsors scholarships and maintains interest and participates in educational and community activities, and whereas the association supports and encourages retired educators to remain active in the profession through volunteer activities associated with learning. Now therefore I, Jay Inslee, Governor of Washington State, do hereby proclaim March 14th through 20th, 2016 as School Retirees Appreciation Week in Washington, and I urge all people in our state to join me in this special observance. So thanks again to all of our retirees and all of their continued contributions.
Thank you, Superintendent Francois. Next, for a special presentation, Human Resource Director Doug Hale will recognize the contributions of district classified employees in honor of Classified School Employee Week, which is March 14th through 18th, 2016.
Apparently the middle of March is when we recognize people. One of the best parts of my job is the fact that I get to interact with so many different employees. I get, in varieties of ways, I get the chance to interact with a number of our 1,100 classified employees, and it's opened my eyes up to what a lot of them do and the actual contributions that they make to our schools. And that's been educational, but it's been a really enjoyable part of my job. And I have come to appreciate their contributions as I learn more about what they really do, whether it's interactions through bargaining or going out and presenting topics to bus drivers. You get a certain level of interaction that you gain appreciation for them. In advance of this week, I've sent a memo out to all the administrators. I sent it out at the end of February, giving administrators some ideas on what they can do in their specific locations to celebrate their classified employees. So that's been done. And also I'd like to, as Larry just did, I'd like to read the proclamation that Governor Jay Inslee put out for classified employees. So let me go ahead and read that. Whereas classified school employees are involved in nearly every aspect of education, maintaining buildings and grounds, preparing and serving meals, keeping school facilities clean and orderly, assisting in classrooms, performing and conducting research activities, providing information, technology and media services, administrative support functions, safe transportation, a secure and healthy environment, and many other specialized services. And whereas these dedicated individuals deserve recognition and thanks for the outstanding work they are doing for the state, their communities, and the students enrolled in Washington public schools and universities. And whereas there are nearly 50,000 classified school employees working with and helping students in Washington universities and public schools, and whereas classified school employees are instrumental in the state's responsibility to educate all students, And whereas by supporting the learning environments, classified school employees are crucial partners with professors, teachers, parents, administrators, and school boards in our education system. Now, therefore, I, Jay Inslee, Governor of the State of Washington, hereby proclaim March 14th through the 18th, they got 2 less days, I don't know why, as Classified Public School Employees Week in Washington, and urge all people in our state to join me in this special observance. Thank you.
Very much, Deb. Next on our agenda are association public comments. The North Shore School District Board of Directors has set aside a period of up to 60 minutes to receive updates and comments from association leaders and citizens from our community. The board expects speakers to address matters relating to board operations, policies, procedures, and agenda items under consideration by the board. Comments should not make reference to an employee or a representative of the district by name or by identifiable reference. Board meetings are not the appropriate setting for personnel complaints. If interested, there is a complaint process available through the Office of the Superintendent. Please note that because of the public governance process, the board may ask clarifying questions regarding topics on the meeting's agenda, but will likely defer discussion to a future meeting if warranted, in order for staff to prepare any necessary background information for board members to review and for the discussion item to be included on a published agenda for the benefit of any other parties who may have interest in the topic. Alternatively, a district employee or board member may respond to individuals offering public comment at a later date if warranted to do so. When addressing the board, please state your name clearly for our records. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. There's a timer that will sound when your time has expired. We thank you. We thank you for your participation in the governance process. First up, are there any association leaders wishing to address the board? Sherry?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Sherry Rudolph. I'm the PTSA Council, or President for North Shore. And I represent the 30 PTAs that we have in the schools, and we also represent SAS. I think you've all had an incredibly busy week and a couple weeks, and so have I. Just wanted to let you know all the different things we've shared with the district. February 26th, we got to attend the ELL Family Engagement Boot Camp with some of the Isn't Shoreline with the communication department, including the natural leaders, and learned so much. It's such a great organization, really thought-provoking in different ways that we can, especially maybe include some of our data in the way we compile that, and so a lot of ideas for that. Willing to get together anytime. Last Monday learned a lot as well. Director Hayes was there as well at kindergarten orientation. A lot of listen to all the questions, and it was very intriguing. Tuesday, Inglemore area VP, who's also on our board, Grace Jurado, attended. She also was a great help. She translated into regular Spanish, like conversational Spanish for us. The flip side, we have 2 sides to our handout, Spanish and English, and she did that for us before we started and made copies, and she said, "This sounds a little better, Sherry." I said, "Thank you." And then we handed that out at the Spanish kindergarten orientation. Tuesday also, so I ran from there with the copies then over to Woodinville High because we had parent education night with a North Shore parent, Brooke Anderson, on how to save for college. And that great questions, great interaction. It was really thought-provoking and well, and those slides are available on our website. And today, though, I did notice also the Seattle Times front page article about the synthetic marijuana quoted our January speaker, Dr. Alex Gerard from Washington Poison Control. So nice to know that we're in the know. I have office hours that I hold with our presidents and any board members that have questions of the 30 different PTAs, so I did that this week. Trying to get them in before they have their meetings. Met with Canyon Park Junior High PTSA as they are transitioning the operation of Threads and Treads. So we're trying to guide them through, we're working out things how some parts of it are going to be better, that they're under the umbrella of a nonprofit. We are a 501c3 and will enable them to do receipts and things like that, but we of course have to go over, maybe some memorandum of understanding and things like that since we're on the district property, but working through that and got some positive feedback. I also talked to, on Friday, I had office hours as well, and talked to some units local PTAs about, we're trying to do a mass texting program and try to utilize that. We're finding that the millennials don't answer emails when they call to volunteer, and then we actually get, I never heard that. I never knew that was going on. You had a Harvest Festival? I didn't know. So we're trying to really get that communication engaged. So also, we did announce, and Cindy Jensen sent out a wonderful email, and all of these names will be posted. We do have 4 students from our Reflections program moving on to nationals, but we had some more that were also recognized at the state level, and there will be a gathering for that in April. So that will all be posted, and she sent out communication on that. And we did get to go to your meeting last Tuesday. Congratulations again, Superintendent Francois. We have enjoyed working with you as well. I appreciate all of the compressed timeline. As you can see, we're on the same pay grade, all of us. So we just support your decision to just elicit multiple requests for all the proposals in the nationwide search, just to really get that vision for what we're going to do. We're on the verge of some exciting things, and so just to see what's out there. I get to talk to so many people when I go to national PTA. Cindy and I are registered for the one in Orlando in June, and we get to see the great things that are out there. And so to be able to be a part of that process, we look forward to help in any way that you would have us, and thank you.
Sherry, real quick, can I ask a question? So threads and treads, so do you mind, I didn't realize that there was a change there, and just want to make sure they don't need any support with that, or?
Right now we're waiting until tomorrow night, because the official taking over of that PTA can't happen until they have a general meeting, and their general membership votes to take it over. That occurs tomorrow night. So we were just kind of guiding them as to what kind of can happen once the vote takes place. So the vote will actually take place tomorrow. But yes, we're going to still house it in the portables, but knowing what we know about portable use in our district, we wanted to get them ready that if they ever need those spaces that the portables are on, that let's maybe do a memorandum of understanding of, maybe a 60-day grace period to be able to still house it if we ever need to move those portables. But just given this recent, history with portables, we wanted to do that. And so things like that, we just kind of guided them on. But it looks like it should be a very smooth transition. Canyon Park has been housing it for a while since the move from Kenmore. So we're kind of doing it on a one-year basis, seeing how it goes. And then, but right now, their PTA is very excited about it.
Okay, great, thank you.
Any questions?
Any other associations? All right, then we'll go to our first public comment, Andrew Wilson.
Hi, my name is Drew Wilson. I'm an 8th grader at Timbercrest, and here I'm talking about how we should keep the challenge classes. I have took 3 challenge classes this year and last year as an 8th grader and 7th grader. They have pushed my learning abilities a lot, and I've gained great study habits from them. It also pushed my thinking, and last year I was in math, and one teacher at our school helped me organize and execute a coin drive at our school for the Richard Sherman Blanket Foundation that raised over $25,000. That was great. And then I've also had 2 brothers that have gone through the challenge programs. One is a junior at Woodinville High School. He is still taking AP classes, and he has also gotten great study habits from them. Then I also have a brother who's a freshman at UBC, a college in Canada. And the challenge and AP classes have helped him as on his resume so that he could get into such a prestigious college. And I believe that that's why we should keep our challenge classes. Thank you.
Question real quick. What challenge class do you not take? Did you not take in your 7th grade year?
I don't take English this year or last year.
Sheila Eggers.
Hi, my name is Jayla Eggers. I'm in 8th grade at Timbercrest Junior High, and I'm talking about how we should keep challenge classes. I am so thankful that I have the opportunity to take these challenge classes to expand my learning abilities to the next level. Challenge classes have prepared me for my future journey into high school and college. Over the last 2 years, I have taken challenge math. It has taught me how to budget my time and challenge my math skills, as well as forcing me outside my comfort zone. It has also helped me improve my study habits for the other 7 classes. Thank you.
very much, Sheila. No, thank you. Thank you very much. Gianna Betterbook.
Hello, my name is Gianna Betancourt, and these are my own words about having challenge classes in middle school. Let's start off with math. In class, we learn a new lesson, like double-digit and triple-digit multiplication. After 4 days of learning this new skill, I start to get really good at it. I've mastered this skill, but other people don't, so we need to keep working on it for a long time. So I get bored and am not learning anything new. It is like bringing me back to 2nd grade, even though I'm in 4th grade, and teaching me addition all over again. I'm astonished that children in my class go at a faster pace than me, and I am bored. Imagine how bored they are. Also, one day, I went home sobbing to my mom because I witnessed that I wasn't in the highest reading group. I wonder why I wasn't in the highest reading group. Maybe because I'm only being taught at my own level and not being pushed to a higher extent. I'm only supposed to read 20 minutes a night, but I go above and beyond because no one is pushing me and read 45 minutes a night. People adapt to things quicker than others, so we should put the people that adapt to things quicker and people that tend to go a little slower in different classes, so everybody can go at their own speed and be excited. And that is why we need to keep challenge. Thank you for your time.
Wendy Reynolds, tough act to follow.
It's not nearly as cute.
Okay, my name's Wendy Reynolds. 11 months ago, I created a closed group on Facebook called the NSD Discussion Group. This group was created when people started asking questions on the PALS page that were unrelated to Later Start. When I started the group, we initially had about 10 people in it. In 11 months, we now have 1,240 members. I would like to address the issue of an employee spying on this group. This employee was taking screenshots during working hours of conversations taking place in a closed Facebook group, as well as other groups, some open, some closed, of any conversations regarding the school district. This employee was not a member of these groups and was using his spouse's account to gain access to these posts. It was not clear that he was using the account, nor was it clear that he was a district employee. After finding out that some employees, more than one, were having their posts shown to their bosses, who are also not in the groups, a public records request revealed this practice. I have possession of hundreds of emails, of screenshots of all of these conversations that took place in this group as well as other closed groups. I have been in contact with the group admins of these other closed pages, and the employee had not disclosed what they were doing there either, or that they were using their spouse's account. I am also in contact with Hans at Facebook, as this is a violation of their Facebook policy. Not only is this completely underhanded and juvenile, this is an incredible breach of trust, especially since these emails were going to high-level administrators and they were asking for people to monitor the chatter, direct quote. All of these conversations, all of these names, sometimes kids' names, are now part of a public record without our consent. And you can say you'll redact them, but in these hundreds of emails I have, there are kids' names. Some are blacked out, but you didn't get them all. This is the second records request that I have made in regard to this group. The first one also had hundreds of emails with messages from administrators offering to give other people their login and password, one admitting she had a spy, one calling a current board member Mr. Economics, and others stating that those people need more to do, as well as other rude remarks. Oftentimes initials are used rather than names, so they won't show up in a records search. The Facebook group welcomes anybody to join in the conversation.
We love having Leanna in the group to answer questions quickly and put rumors to rest. We do not want to be a rumor mill. In fact, we would love to have administration there engaging in a productive dialogue. We are not the enemy. We all want this district to succeed and be the best it can be. One of the most important jobs that the board does is to select a leader. Since this breach of trust reaches the highest level of the district, we are asking for a broad search for a new superintendent and interim if an interim is required. We believe outside leadership is the only way to change the tone at the top and restore public trust. Thank you.
Nancy Chamberlain?
Good evening. I am Nancy Chamberlain. Can you hear me? I know you have received copies of the proposal by Save Our Challenge. I'd like to explain what it is and what it is not. It is not a comprehensive research report. It is a proposal from your community, not just the 5 authors, but from the over 1,200 people who signed the petition, the scores who participated in 2 community input gathering nights, and dozens of parents and students who have testified before you. It is not a literature review, nor a meta-analysis. It is a report that uses both quantitative analysis, using the data available to us to examine the school board's own metrics for the program, and it uses qualitative analysis as well. In qualitative analysis, the researchers acknowledge their inherent biases up front, which we clearly did on the cover page. As all researchers should know, and Malta-Root has pointed out explicitly, a researcher's background and position will affect what they choose to investigate, the methods, the findings considered most appropriate, and the framing and communication of conclusions. The perspective or position of the researcher shapes all research, quantitative, qualitative, and even laboratory science, and in no way disqualifies the results. To suggest otherwise demonstrates a profound misunderstanding of the nature of research. I would like to address one misinterpretation that is already surfaced, that we claim evidence that shows that Challenge has closed the achievement gap. We make no such claim. The achievement gap in our district is real, large, and begins in elementary school. There is no measurable effective challenge on it yet because we need to work on increasing access of free and reduced lunch and minority populations to the more rigorous curriculum after they have met standard. We need to apply targeted supports before they reach middle school so they are ready for more rigorous work in middle and high school. We feel that this is absolutely critical and dedicates several chapters in our proposal to showing that the self-select aspect has increased access for free and reduced and minority students to more rigorous level, pace, and peers that Challenge offers, and to suggesting ways to support and identify these underrepresented learners before middle school. Finally, a request to have both Save Our Challenge and the NSEA at the table at tonight's study session has been denied. Save Our Challenge will be present with our proposal, background information, notes, data, and more resources if you should have any questions for us. We'll be there.
Nancy. Angie Hancock?
Hello. My name is Angie Hancock, and I have 2 kids in the district. Last Monday, Save Our Challenge group submitted this proposal, which you all have, I believe, of recommendations and rationale for North Shore's transition to middle school in the district, to the school board. We are here tonight to read the executive summary of this document. Students, parents, and community members believe that balanced research and community input is vital when determining the fate of our students. The Save Our Challenge group has done extensive research. We have investigated the best practices from other successful middle schools, read the AMLE literature on middle school models, read many other primary and secondary research sources, and analyzed available data from our own district. We have attended numerous middle school grade reconfiguration task force and academic subcommittee meetings and have taken copious notes. We have also collected a significant amount of feedback from the community, including conducting a survey with over 200 respondents, published a petition that has more than 1,200 signatures, hosted 2 community events, and gathered a large number of suggestions and feedback from students, parents, and community members. Even though only 5 names are on the title page, this document was written by the entire North Shore community. All of this research and feedback has led us to create this proposal that we feel best serves all of our district students, from high cap to struggling learners. While sitting in on academic subcommittee meetings over the last several months, we have heard on multiple occasions that taking challenge kids out of the room makes gen ed hard to teach. This appears to be the motivating reason to consider changing the challenge program. However, the data shows that there is actually a tremendous amount of mixing of gen ed and challenge students in the gen ed classrooms already. Only 10% of students take all 4 core challenge courses available. 64% of 7th grade challenge students take only 1 or 2 challenge classes and spend the rest of their day in gen ed classes. Given this reality, we believe the real issue is this: how do we make our gen ed classrooms more effective? We want all students to be successful at every ability level. We agree that this is an important goal that should be prioritized. We support investments in improving teaching methods, curriculum, identification, and supports, particularly for struggling, minority, free and reduced lunch, English language learners, and other disadvantaged populations. To this end, we have included specific ideas for improving gen ed in our recommendations, as well as strategies for proactively identifying underrepresented students who would benefit from challenge classes. More to come. Thank you.
Angie.
Amy Flynn?
Hello, my name is Amy Flynn, and I have children in the district. I'm going to continue the executive summary where Angie left off. Community input has been the cornerstone of this proposal. At the recent community brainstorming session, participants evaluated several middle school models, which were a mix of the 4 models discussed by the academic subcommittee and others added by the Save Our Challenge group and participants at the brainstorming session. A total of 9 models emerged and are detailed later in this proposal with complete community comments. Self-select challenge classes in all core subjects for grades 6 through 8 is the model that was overwhelmingly and unanimously chosen by parents, students, and community members at the community brainstorming session and is strongly supported by the vast majority of comments we have received. This is the cheapest, least risky option, as well as being the best option for students. Importantly, this model only requires the development of a challenge curriculum for 6th grade and related professional development. We also recommend that incoming 6th graders should have the option to test into the Challenge 7-8 math class as 6th graders as a smoother way to enter the double jump math path, where students only skip 1 year of math in 6th grade, skip 6th grade math, take Challenge 7-8 in 6th grade, instead of skipping 2 years of math in 7th grade, skip Challenge 7-8 math and take algebra in 7th grade. Additionally, it is important to maintain self-select Challenge 7-8 math for 7th graders without entrance requirements. Another model, self-select challenge classes in 7th and 8th grade with a heterogeneous 6th grade, is our 2nd place recommendation and is the closest analog to the status quo in current implementation. This model will not require changes to curriculum, however, it will require extensive professional development for all 6th grade teachers to learn how to differentiate for all levels of learners in the context of a middle school model, block schedule, etc. This model also does not meet all of the needs of our 6th grade middle schoolers who are expecting access to advanced courses as part of the transition to middle schools. This model should be chosen only if the preferred model is infeasible for 2017 and as a stepping stone to future implementation of our preferred recommendation. For this model, we recommend the same accelerated math options for 6th and 7th graders as the preferred recommendation above. Thank you.
Can you explain the math? Sorry. Can you explain the math sequence again? I had a hard time following that.
So I will try. My kids aren't there yet. So currently, if 6th graders, actually, I probably can't explain the double jump. I have a 4th grader, but there are people who can, and
So
maybe they can answer their
someone
question.
comes after you, they can just,
Yeah.
I heard it, but I didn't.
I understand. I practiced that part a lot.
Thank you, no problem.
Thank you, Amy. Angie Houston?
Hello, my name is Angie Inojos Yusuf, and I have 3 children in the North Shore School District. And I'll continue the executive summary where Amy left off. Additional recommendations. In the spirit of improving outcomes for all students, we also recommend changing the program name to something other than challenge. The current program name implies that Gen Ed is not challenging. Purchasing more engaging, active curriculum for Gen Ed. Lowering Gen Ed class size while increasing challenge class size. Providing professional development to help Gen Ed teachers engage learners in different ways. Implementing strategies to proactively identify students for challenge. Universal screening in 5th grade. Auto-enrolling students in challenge who receive at least a 3 on the SBAC or a B average. One-on-one counseling during registration for underrepresented students. Implementing AVID. And many other specific strategies to consider. Research and data show self-select challenge a success, removing it risky. Using external research as well as data from our own district, we show in many ways how the self-select challenge program is successful, equitable, and particularly essential for supporting both high and low achieving girls, as well as our high ability population. Since its inception, the challenge program has increased access to rigorous courses in junior high and high school for historically underrepresented groups. Additionally, removing a successful and popular program is a risky proposition during this time of major change and transition. Specifically, we include research and data supporting the following arguments. 1, the Self-Select Challenge program was born from community and student advocacy. 2, Self-Select Challenge has been successful according to the school board's success metrics. 3, the percent of FRL, free and reduced lunch, and minority students self-selecting into advanced courses has increased significantly since the introduction of the Challenge program in 2011. Self-select is the most equitable model for access. Self-select challenge is not tracking. Middle school is a safe place to take academic risks without impacting the high school transcript. An academically engaged social group is critical for the continued achievement of high-achieving middle school girls. Low-achieving girls with high-achieving friends had a lower level of academic achievement than expected. AAP only serves a small fraction of our high-ability population. Challenge serves the rest. High-ability students have significant challenges in social, emotional, and academic development that lead to a high rate of poor outcomes if they are not supported. Community and student support remains extremely strong for Self-Select Challenge. Removal of the Challenge program could lead to negative voter response. Removing the successful Challenge program at a time of huge district-wide change is too complex and too risky. And if you'd like me to address the math,
Yes.
I can do that. Okay. So we're recommending that 6th graders should have the option to test into Challenge 7-8 math as 6th graders, rather than go directly onto the double jump path. They would have that compressed, which is the challenge math right now in 7th grade, the 7-8 year, rather than trying to test in directly 2 years ahead. It's a smoother transition.
Double jump track.
They would be on that track, but they would go through the 7-8 compressed year, which is the challenge class. Thank you very much.
Skip less math.
Susan Cobb?
I'm sorry, did you need to clarify it? Did you want to clarify that? Yeah, if you, right now.
I just want to add one clarification, which is that if students did that, they would only skip 1 year of math, whereas our current trajectory for double jump actually has them completely skipping 2 years of math. And so that's the benefit, is that kids can get on that algebra in 7th grade plan without having to completely skip 2 years of math, which I've heard is a consistent concern from administration that, you know, when kids skip over big pieces of math, they sometimes have holes and gaps in their learning. And so that would be a way to avoid that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Susan Cobb?
Hello, my name is Susan Cobb, and I have a daughter in the school district, 5th grade daughter. I will continue the executive summary where Angie left off. Flaws and gaps in the differentiated heterogeneous classroom model. This proposal shows that the differentiated heterogeneous classroom model is time-consuming and expensive to implement with fidelity in the best case. Research shows that successful middle schools are moving away from this model because of the inherent difficulties in differentiating for the mixed ability classroom. Specifically, these arguments are presented. Number one, differentiation in the middle school classroom is expensive to implement and difficult to execute. Number two, effective professional development for differentiation is expensive and time-consuming. Number three, high-ability students are not effective role models for struggling students. Number four, according to the AMLE's research, mixed ability classrooms do not make for a highly successful middle school. Number five, critical AMLE recommendations are being ignored. Number six, differentiated classrooms do not adequately support struggling learners. 7, mixed ability classrooms make differences in ability level and achievement more visible, not less visible. And 8, differentiation for high cap students being served in the neighborhood school has not worked. In closing, we question the prudence of considering such a large and controversial change in a time frame that is already overflowing with complexity and risk. Furthermore, NSD has made the decision not to implement 2 critical components of the AMLE middle school philosophy, yet continues to push forward a more controversial and less widely adopted recommendation. Whereas 72 to 90% of schools adopt interdisciplinary teaming and 77 to 94% of schools adopt common planning time, only 23% of schools implement the differentiated heterogeneous classroom model, only 23%. We hope you will seriously consider this proposal offered by parents, students, and community of NSD. We are a community with broad and significant talent across a number of areas, including analysis, regulatory and legal advocacy, project management, technical, etc. We are willing and eager to ensure this proposal will be successful by helping NSD in any way that's required. Thank you.
Sienna Brown.
Hi, my name is Sienna Brown. I'm 12 years old and Hispanic, and I attend Timbercrest Junior High School as a 7th grader. I stand before you today to respectfully request that you vote to keep our challenge program. This program provides opportunities for all students. I'm Exhibit A. If you truly believe in equality for all students, I want to close the achievement gap. The Self-Select Challenge program is essential. It gives every student an opportunity to choose a more rigorous path, not just based on the district or teacher's assessment, but based on a student's own determination and effort. If the classes that I took at junior high were based on test scores, I would not be in challenge classes. I had no confidence last year, but this year I'm making A's in challenge classes because I chose to try and a teacher encouraged me to take challenge. I stand before you as a member of the underrepresented group in this district to demonstrate that it is developmentally appropriate for students to choose their academic destiny. As I, a 12-year-old, stand before a room of adults to plead this case, what further evidence do you need that we are capable of being included in decisions regarding our academic future? There are many important reasons for keeping this program, but I want to highlight 2. The data shows that this program is highly successful. The proposal delivered to school district last week and published online at a Save Our Challenge website demonstrates with data that this program was highly successful. The alternatives that you are looking for are expensive and risky. But by making all of the changes you are trying to make at once in the fall of 2017, you risk my future and the future of all the students at North Shore School District. Please at least slow down these changes. Keeping our challenge will not only reduce the risk, but reduce cost. I have learned by taking challenge and non-challenge classes that risks must carefully be weighed, and sometimes we need to go pace ourselves to succeed. Challenge in every area is not for everyone, and one of the outstanding things at our school right now is that we can choose the areas of our strength and areas where we want to take a slower pace. This choice and these options are important. My call to action is this: keep our self-selecting challenge classes, all of them. Our data shows that it is successful. Risk and cost of the unproven alternatives are too high. I am proof that students are developmentally capable and should be included in their academic decisions. Please do the right thing and keep our challenge program. Thank you.
You said that that you were not a good test taker, which I relate to that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I didn't really do math. I didn't do well at math last year, but now I'm more confident going to this school because I've made so many new friends, and I gained confidence, and it's just kind of helped me a lot.
So you're not in the high cap program, and so you're choosing challenge.
Yeah.
And how many challenge classes do you take?
I take all of them.
So you're doing better in math.
Yes.
Good for you.
Okay, thank you.
See you now. Yeah, thank you very much.
My name is Dr. Charla Griffey-Brown. I'm a full tenured professor at the Grazioso School of Business at Pepperdine University. I'm a mother of 2 children in the school district here, and I'm a resident of Woodinville. I'm here today to really support the proposal that was put forward with Save the Challenge. I think it's critical that we as a community understand the scale and scope of the complexity that we are advancing in the fall of 2017, and that we make adjustments in order to ensure success. The changes that we have slated are enormous. Earlier start times, boundary changes, new school openings, grade reconfigurations, and that's just a few. Each of these changes on its own embodies significant complexity, enough that we need to really understand how to execute and calibrate in order to be successful. Essentially, we as a school district are building a plane while it's flying, and we're losing the pilot in the middle of that process. So I think it's absolutely essential we deal with the importance of figuring out where we're going to land. Slow things down a little bit so that we can avoid multi-factor systems failure, which could be inevitable just before a levee cliff. I think the risk that we're putting before ourselves is entirely too high, and there's much to be gained by slowing down what we're doing. In addition to the benefits that were, I think, extremely well articulated in the Save Our Challenge proposal, I would like to suggest that this is a choice for student equity. That is one of the clearest messages that comes from this proposal. Academic achievement, cost, risk, and student success are all arguments for continuing the challenge program. I ask you to listen to the community and the students, and my call to action is really quite simple. Let's keep the challenge program. It will help us slow down and simplify the complex changes that are really before us. If not, we're essentially inviting disaster. And as someone who works with global executives on innovation and global change amidst organizational pressures, I really think it behooves us to take things in stride and slow things down and support our children by supporting this obviously very successful curriculum. Thank you for all your work on behalf of our students.
Keith Cornea?
You already said my name, and of course I have to follow a PhD. Yeah, I'm always the Wallowitz, even at Amazon. I work with PhDs. I just have a master's degree in derivative securities, so math is very important to me. And I'm here on behalf of Challenge, and I'm actually here a little bit under duress because, to be honest with you, I told my wife as she was dragging me down here, I don't think what I say is going to make a lot of difference. But I can give you some anecdotal evidence, and there's a lot of primary research that's been given. And I just want to say, I tell my kids, I have 2 kids here in this school district. I had 3 graduate from Bellevue. One of them is a junior at University of Washington in engineering, another in computer science at Wazoo. They were always challenged at the Bellevue school system. They took advanced classes at Bellevue High. And on my way here, I texted one of my son, and I said, hey, how many kids in your class are from Woodinville High? None. How many from Bellevue High? Oh, tons. They're all over the place. Anecdotal evidence, I know. What I tell my daughter, who I'm trying to push into math, is it's all about options. And challenge is an option. The challenge class, the challenge approach is an option for her to address her own future. I don't want to tell her Timbercrest is just an extension of Eastridge, where your path has been chosen for you, where you're going to be where you were a year ago. I didn't have that. Like somebody else said here, this young lady, I tested horribly. And if I were to take that route, I would not have gone to where I was. Having a master's degree, I'm also now an enterprise architect at a large telecom. And the one thing I do notice, and I tell my wife this is one of the things I'm here is, I don't know if you guys noticed this year, but they actually increased the H-1B visas by 3 times. I cannot find people in this country to do engineering jobs. Everybody I work with, I know more about Indian holidays and Pakistani holidays and Chinese holidays than I do about Americans. And I told one of my friends one day while we were attending Diwali, hey, we need to learn about the majority's holidays since we're the minority. And I don't want to see that continue happening. And quite frankly, I told my wife and my family, and I'm not too concerned what this decision is, because at the end of the day, if it doesn't go the way that benefits my family, I'm moving. We're going to go to Bellevue High School, and we're going to go to the Bellevue School District. It's pretty simple. I will do whatever is best for my family to prepare them for the future. And that's why I'm here. And I hear there's a lot of people that have put forth a lot of effort. I can only say I applaud what they've said, and I appreciate you listening to me and taking the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Ashley Standa, did I get that correct? No, of course I didn't.
Okay. My name's Ashley Castaneda. I have 2 daughters in the North Shore School District. One is 5th grade and one is 6th. I had the opportunity last night to attend our middle school orientation, and my husband and I attended it. We were very, very pleased with the options that are available to our children with the challenge. We went into it not 100% ready, almost thinking of possibly, especially for her 7th and 8th grade year, putting her in a private education, It's a sensitive time for children. It's developmental in more than one way. The challenge programs that they're allowed to, the children are now, which I learned last night, are signing themselves up to with the parents' permission, which I like that portion because they know what they're interested in and what they'd like to do in the future, are offered now, but may not be. I know that there's a lot of research. I did something this last summer. I signed my oldest, the 6th grader, for an HCAP test just to see. I did no prior test prep with her. I wanted to see where she would stand in the testing. I knew offhand that she would have to test at a 95 percentile to be serviced in our home school. With no whatsoever test prep, she went in there gung-ho, took her test, and she came out with 87 percentile. She daily is sat with a few other students, and she's given her Math Olympian away from the general population of her classroom to attend to herself and sort of self-direct her teaching. I appreciate the fact that she's self-driven, but I think as a parent and a community member of a school and child rearing area, if you will, there's a lot of children of, the same age group and diagram. I think that if we can support the challenge group, it would be positive, it would be enlightening for kids like my own. 87 percentile doesn't make the mark for her to be in that HCAP. We will on April 2nd take the double jump math. Without that, and it would be hard because she's a 6th grader, she'd be testing with 8th grade standards at that point without anyone giving her instruction to that. This way, with the challenge, she could go in and start doing her challenge and skip just that 1 year with the support of an instructor and not herself, or just leaflets or handlets. And she's been doing this for quite some time. It's been years that she's been sitting, assisting other students in the class that were following behind. So please keep challenging.
Question. When you say that she's sitting by herself, what is the result of that? Why is that happening?
Okay, so what's happening, especially through her math program in her classroom environment, the teacher separates three tables. My understanding, there's 3 tables, 2 that are close together. The teacher sort of sways in between those 2. And then there's that 3rd table to the side where I think there's about 5 students that are in 6th grade. They're in the Math Olympian program. There is once in a while a parent volunteer that will come in and assist them with sort of a faster paced curriculum. I believe that they are 3 or more lessons ahead of the class. I just feel like if they had the true support of an instructor in that scenario, that they could really have more options.
So what I hear you saying is even though she didn't test into high cap, within her classroom setting, she's performing at a higher level and therefore she's not being serviced is what I heard you say.
Absolutely.
The other kids are being serviced.
Right, so she hasn't got that certain percentile to actually be an HCAP, or what, if you will, but she's just at a border, so she's not the general, and then she's not that real, but I think having a challenging environment might bring some ability to learn a little bit more or feel the vibe of liking math a little more instead of sort of sitting there and kind of feeling like we're just spinning our wheels. Thank you guys for your time.
Alana Castanda.
Hi, my name is Alana Castaneda. I'm a 6th grader in the North Shore School District, and I'm here to talk about challenge classes. So throughout my schooling experience, I've had the opportunity to take higher like homework than the other children in my class, and I'm really grateful for that, and that really helps me throughout my day to expand my eyes and become a better student as I want to be. I have been looking forward to doing challenge classes for so long because I couldn't get over the fact that I get to choose my classes in middle school and that I am so excited for it. So I would just be so sad to if that happened to if you guys took that away. And I feel like if students could have the opportunity to choose their challenge courses, and students, they really get to thrive and become a better person and have greater opportunities in life for them and themselves. So, thank you.
Christina Devontae?
Hello, my name is Austina Devontae. Today I'm going to comment on an interesting statement made by the NSCA, our teachers union, in their March newsletter describing their key concerns for bargaining. Quote, "We need more time. The work is overwhelming. More demands keep coming. Our pay is inadequate for the work that we do. Quote unquote, self-select in our junior highs is developmentally inappropriate for all our students. Class sizes, class compositions, and waiting for needy students needs improvement." Later in the newsletter, there was a large heading titled "President's Message, Join the Bargaining Support Team." I was surprised to see that here there were many details about arranging a strike. We had suspected early on that the teachers union was behind the push to remove the challenge program. Now we see the union's position in black and white. We have heard through the grapevine that this is an issue they're willing to strike over, and the wheels seem to be in motion. I'm very sympathetic to many of the union concerns, but some of it confuses me. We're hearing that the teachers union feels the teachers are overworked and not paid enough, yet they want to get rid of self-select challenge program to address problems with class size and class composition. The argument that I heard made at a recent meeting with union representatives was that the union would like to see the quote-unquote hot coals spread out more across more classrooms. That is, students who are struggling due to troubling home lives, disabilities, behavior challenges, etc. On the surface, that seems like a reasonable argument, but let's play it out a little bit. Let's say that we have a full range of ability levels in each classroom, from struggling students all the way to high cap. This means that teachers now need to differentiate for every student in that same classroom. Yes, there's a range of ability levels in our current general ed classes and challenge classes, but that range is not nearly as wide as what's being proposed. There's a strong belief that having high ability students in every classroom will help bring up the level of the class. While many people dearly wish this to be true, and it seems intuitively obvious, the research just doesn't bear it out. In fact, research finds the opposite. When classmates see what high ability students can achieve apparently effortlessly, they say to themselves, "There's no way I can do that. I can't possibly catch up, so I won't even try." In fact, researchers found that when those high ability students are removed from the classroom, other bright kids step up and become much more meaningful leaders. The root problem is that an effective role model must not be too far away in ability and achievement level. If we're trying to help our struggling students, adding high ability students to the mix isn't going